Back at it with my favorite segment of the day. Like I say every week, because if you tell me I made you money last week, on all the games I went 7-5, and on my favorite I went 3-2. So that's plus money. If you tell, you made plus money. This guy across the table, oh my God, that was atrocious, bro. You can't be doing this to people.
It was a rough one, and I'm gonna hug it.
What do you? I'm sorry, I have to say the record. I'm not trying to gloat, but you really did go 3-10.
And I gotta hug it. It was bad. It was rough out there, but it was bad for almost the majority of the world.
I'll give him that. The whole betting community had a rough weekend. Not me though. Plus money. Remember that. And I don't know on the show because we do record it like 2 days earlier. But I picked on the show. I picked Rams. But I really did think Dolphins were winning, and I'm upset about that.
I'll give him this. Because we talked about this off camera a lot too, and he had Miami this whole time. But for you guys, he got a little shy, and he said, "I'm gonna be safe for here." That's all it was. But all right,
let's get into it. We're gonna run as usual. We're gonna run through the whole slate, and then we're gonna go into our favorite five. So Thursday night started off Green Bay versus San Francisco. They have the Green Bay Packers favored by 6. Some notable injuries. They're missing almost their whole running back room. The 49ers are missing their starting quarterback and Kittle. Who you got in this game?
It's at 6 now, the spread?
Yeah,
so I got 49ers plus 6. The Packers, what they suck at is run defense. And the 49ers, what they're great at is running the ball. So I think that, I don't think they're going to win, but I think they can cover the spread.
Honestly, I hate to do this, but this one's going to be a little disrespectful. I really don't know who's going to win this game, but I'm going to just fade you. Because, after that performance, I have to fade you.
That's what we're doing these days.
So I'm going to take Green Bay minus 6. I'm taking Green Bay minus 6. Moving on to the next game, I actually do like this bet, and I might place it myself. Is Kansas City minus 10.5 versus Carolina, Kansas City at home. I've watched a good amount of Panthers play this year. They're not a bad team. They're a pretty good team. But I think Kansas City has finally woken up and they're done playing around. And I don't see this game being really, really close. I think what I am scared though is because since it's at 10.5, I do think Kansas City might end up winning by 10. That's a good score for them to win by. But I will take the 2 touchdown win, so I'm gonna take Kansas City minus 10.5.
I will do the same thing. I wanted to take Panthers badly, but as you said, Kansas City has been a lot better these last couple of weeks now. They're finally there, and they're clicking. They got their mojo. So Panthers, I just don't think their offense can keep up. So yeah, Chiefs minus 10.5.
We got the Lions traveling to Minnesota in a big division game. I wouldn't call it a big game because both teams are really not in the playoff race, but Minnesota's coming off a big upset win over Green Bay. They might have some confidence now. They have the Lions as 4-point underdogs. Dalvin Cook's back in the mix. To start it off, I'm going to take the Lions plus 4. I just think after that terrible loss to the Colts, this is kind of like a gut check for the Lions team who's not really out of it yet. I think they're one game below 500, so I'm going to take the Lions plus 4.
Lions are talented, and I think the Vikings defense will struggle covering the Lions receivers. But I do think that Vikings will cover this. I think Vikings minus 4. I think the receivers will, plus the running game, will be enough on the offense.
Funny little tip here there in this game for everyone. When Justin Jefferson is playing in a dome, he's the number 1 receiver in fantasy. So this is a good week to bet any Justin Jefferson props. His yards, his anytime touchdown. So that's something to watch. I think he's going to play a big role. I think the Lions will still cover, but I think Justin Jefferson on the receiving yards is a good bet.
NFL LSU.
And now we got Chicago, the worst good team in NFL history. We got the Bears traveling to Tennessee as 5.5-point underdogs. The Titans just traded for Desmond King. I don't think he's going to play though because he has to cover the COVID protocols. But after getting beat up on by the Cincinnati Bengals in an upset, I do always bet on the Bears and they always do have me. But I'm going to fade the Bears this week and I'm going to take the Titans minus 5.5.
Yeah, I got Titans minus 5.5. You can't do me like that 2 weeks in a row. I think it's a bounce back week and it's a statement game for them almost because
this is a good team they're playing right now.
It is. So it's going to show that what we haven't done all year isn't going down the drain because we're a lot better than this team.
In a big NFL game between two teams with a really good record, between the Buffalo Bills and Seattle Seahawks, I think almost everyone will be healthy. Jamal Adams should be making his return. This is going to be a big game for Buffalo to prove that they can hang with the NFL's elites. but I just don't think they can. Seahawks defense look much better against 49ers this week. I think they're taking a step forward defensively. They have the Seahawks at 2.5 favorites on the road, which is pretty funny because this game really should be a pick'em because they're traveling to a good team, but they got them at 2.5 favorites, and I'm a bite on that. I'm gonna take the Seahawks minus 2.5 even on the road.
I got the same thing. Bills just haven't looked good recently. I don't know what's wrong with them. And the Seahawks, they have shown some. They struggled against the Cardinals defensively, but then now they bounced back, and I think they're gonna bounce back, or not bounce back, but keep it rolling. I think they're gonna cover this.
I really do like this bet actually a lot. The Denver Broncos traveling to the Atlanta Falcons as 4-point underdogs. I don't know why, but I really like the Falcons. Like I'm gonna take the Falcons on the spread. And me personally, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna bet Falcons on the money line. I don't know if I might adjust the spread to 3. But for the purpose of picking the spreads on the show, I'm just gonna take the Falcons minus 4.
Because you chose Falcons, now I don't want to. Cause I don't know why. I really thought you would have chose Broncos. For some reason, I wanted to choose Broncos too, but something in my... This is just pure gut feeling, this pick. But something's really just telling me Falcons are just going to cover.
Yeah, I just think the Falcons are just going to win. Like Falcons have looked good in every loss, honestly, except against Green Bay. That's when they just got blown out. But every other game, they look pretty good. They just can't close. Overall. So I'm going to take the Falcons to win. This game is really hard for us to pick because Ravens team is being destroyed with COVID right now. At least the defense. Everyone on the defense is getting destroyed. Testing positive for COVID. Marlon Humphrey's confirmed out. A bunch of guys on high risk, so they might not play. But as of right now, this line's probably going to change if the COVID tests get confirmed and the guys are going to be out. But they have Ravens traveling to Indianapolis as 2.5-point favorites. I mean, I don't know how you can't take the Colts knowing how many players on the Ravens defense is going to be out. But I'm still going to take the Ravens. Yeah, I know. Like after all that, I'm still going to take the Ravens. I'm going to take the Ravens minus 2.5.
I really thought you were going to go Colts, but me too. As I've said before, I will never choose Phillip Rivers. I will fade him till I die. So
it didn't work out last week. I told you Colts will win, and you picked Lions.
Yeah, it didn't work out last week, but it's okay. This week, it would make sense not to follow me on this one because, man, the whole linebacking core for the Ravens has tested positive apparently right now for the Ravens. Plus, starting corner and starting safety with Deshaun Elliott out too. Logically, doesn't make sense. But my logic is against Phillip Rivers, so that's how I'm going to roll.
This one is a weird game. So we got the Houston Texans going to Jacksonville to play the Jacksonville Jaguars for a second meetup of the year. They have the Jacksonville Jaguars. Both teams are coming off a bye. So they have the Jaguars as a 7-point underdog. This is weird because both teams suck. Texans probably should win, but by 7, I don't think so. This is something that I would look at the over for this game. Both teams coming off a bye and good weather in Florida. Probably going to be a lot of points, but I'm going to take the Jags plus 7.
I have Jags plus 7 too. This is weird. We're getting a lot of similar picks right now, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens next week.
I think this one we should be different on though. So we have the Giants traveling to Washington, second meetup of the year. Redskins lost the first game in New York. No, was it the first game? Yeah, the first game I think was in New York. And they lost off a failed 2-point conversion to try to win the game. I think at home now, Washington being at home, they're going to destroy. I don't even think it's going to be very close. I know this is going to be fun because people seen Giants play well this year and even play well against Tampa. So I think it's going to be overreaction from a lot of folks and they're going to take the points with the New York Giants. But Redskins coming off a bye, I have the Redskins covering 3. This is actually one of my favorite. I'm going to talk about it later, but this is one of my favorite picks. I have the Redskins minus 3.
You said you think I was going to be different, but I just said earlier that I think Chase Young is probably going to force a couple fumbles on.
Wow, I really expect you to pick the Giants, honestly.
So, and me, historically, I do overreact, and I probably would take the Giants. But I'm almost fading myself here, to be honest. Because normally I would, but
yeah, that's what like me knowing you based off your logic. You seem like a guy you'd go with the Giants.
But I know that's gonna trick me. So I'm going with Redskins. Redskins aren't even that bad. They're solid.
I honestly,
weird.
They literally might win the division. They already even beat the Eagles.
Yeah, there's a high chance, to be honest.
Then we got the Raiders going to LA as underdogs. I don't know how the Raiders are underdogs versus the Chargers, which makes no sense. Because if you watch both teams play, the only thing the Chargers have better than the Raiders is a better quarterback. Okay, obviously have some better receivers. But the main thing is that the Chargers have a better quarterback. Everything else about the Raiders is better than the Chargers. The Raiders have shown us that they're actually a competent team, and I still have them making the playoffs. So I'm taking the Raiders to pull off the small upset here as 1.5 underdogs. I'll take the Raiders straight up on the money line. I got the Raiders in this game.
I'ma go opposite this time. And I was really leaning Raiders, But I feel like Chargers can't keep losing these close games. And I think this is a close game once again. It's going to come down to the wire. I think Justin Herbert finally gets that win this time, where it's not like it's getting snaked where something wrong happens. I feel like they deserve something good to happen. I think this is a decent week for them to get something good.
I hear that. This was the toughest game for me to pick on the week because I have an immense amount of respect for the Miami Dolphins. But I think this is a tough spot for them traveling to Arizona. They're going in as 4.5 point underdogs. This is tough, and like Tua against that team, that defense, Buda Baker, man, that's gonna be hard. So I'm gonna just take Arizona. I'm gonna just bite the bullet and take Arizona minus 4.5.
You already know I was taking Arizona minus 4.5.
I don't like it though. This is like what I did with last week with the Rams. Yeah. I said I took the Rams, but I said I don't like it, and I'm doing it again. If it happens again, I'm just gonna start betting against the Dolphins, but I'm gonna have to go Arizona.
Nah, I got Arizona here too. Pat Pete pick 6 calling it right now.
This game is gonna be a wash, man. Steelers versus Cowboys. Cowboys are terrible. Ben DiNucci sucks. Whoever plays, you said Gary Gilbert might play. Just give me the Steelers minus 14. I don't even care. Just give me Steelers minus 14.
Whatever the spread could have been 20. I probably would have taken Steelers minus 20. So yeah, 13.5. We got Steelers.
All right, biggest matchup of the week. This is a game I'm excited to watch. I'm happy. I don't know if this was always the Sunday night game. I think it got flexed into Sunday night. But we got the Buccaneers versus the Saints. They had the Bucs. I did not expect this spread. They had the Bucs as 5.5 point favorites.
I was surprised too.
I was so surprised.
I was expecting a 3 or 2.5.
I thought it was gonna be a field goal game, and it's honestly bothering me because it's making me think, should I bet on the Saints? Because I think this is gonna be a close game.
That's exactly why I have the Saints.
But I don't bet against Brady. Give me the Bucs minus 5.5. Bucs are in the game.
All right, we got a head-to-head here again. Says I got Saints plus 5.5. I think Saints might even win this game, low key, but
yeah, they have a good chance.
It's gonna be close. I think it's gonna be the final drive. Field goal wins it. So I got Saints covering. I'm
just hoping Bucs can come out of this and win by a touchdown, honestly. And final Monday night game. It's a little bit of a stinker, but I mean, you get to watch Cam Newton play, Sam Darnold. 2 quarterbacks I like. So you got the Jets at home as 7.5 point underdogs. Picking the Patriots to beat anyone by more than a touchdown is probably not a good idea.
That's exactly what my same thing.
But I'm going to just take the Patriots, honestly. I'll just take the Patriots minus 7.5.
For me, Patriots aren't 7 points better than anybody in the NFL. So that's why I got to take Jets plus 7. They're actually one of my favorite picks this week, Jets.
Really? All right, well, Larry Butts against that right now. I'm going to start off. Last week, went 3-2 on my favorite 5. I want better this week, so I'm going aiming for 4-1 better. I just went 1-4, so you know who to tell here. Honestly, you know who to tell here. You know who to tell here. Don't tell this. Okay, I'm not going to say don't tell him. Because I've seen him. Hey, he knows how to bet. He knows what he's doing. But he's just struggling right now. I don't know. He's going to pick it up, hopefully. But me, I'm going to get into my favorite 5. I actually really do like this slate. And, like, I think you guys should tell. I'm going to go start off Seattle minus 1.5. I love that pick. They're going to go into Buffalo. I think going to prove a statement that our defense, what we seen last week against 49ers, wasn't fake. Another pick I love. I love this so much. I got the Washington football team minus 3 versus Giants. I think they go in there and roll. They're coming off a bye. Terry McLaurin, Chase Young, they're getting more healthy. They're going to come and they're going to roll the Giants. Then I have 2 picks in the Raiders games, both in my 5. I like Raiders money line and I like the over in that game. So separate. I'm not going to parlay them. You guys do what you want, but separate picks. Raiders money line is 1, and I have the Raiders in charge over. I think it's over 53. And then my final pick of the day, take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers minus 5. Honestly, sorry. I know like it's a tough one to swallow, but I'm gonna take the Bucs minus 5.
All right, so we got a couple of head-to-heads here. Actually, no, just one. But my favorite 5, I got Jags plus 7 to start it off. I just can't see the Texans defense stopping them where they shouldn't be in a close game. Then I got Seahawks. This is the one we got the same minus 2.5. He said 1.5. I'm pretty sure it's at 2.5 to spread against the Bills.
Yeah, I think it might be 2.5.
So
yeah.
I just don't think the Bills are that good anymore. I was high on them earlier in the year, but the way they've looked, to not take the Seahawks, it would be like a shame. I really think they're gonna cover that spread pretty easily. Then I got Jets plus 7. As I said earlier, Patriots are not 7 points better than anybody. And the Jets, they've shown flashes. Like against the Broncos, I think the Broncos are better than the Patriots, and the Jets kept that game close. So I can see them doing the same thing here, plus 7. Then I got Saints plus 5.5. For such a big divisional game, which could arguably win the division.
We took the Saints plus what?
5.5.
That's one of your favorite 5?
Yeah.
Damn.
You got to give me that. You can't have a 5.5 spread for 2 of the top teams in the NFL. So what's that? I got Jags, Saints, Jets, Seattle. And then my last pick, Steelers minus 13.5 against the Cowboys. These spreads are scary, but man, the Cowboys are the worst team in the NFL right now. That offense is atrocious. They're not going to put up points. Steelers defense is going to go crazy. They're covering that. I
have one more pick that I really like. What can I do? If this wins, I want credit for my 5. So do I have to take someone out, or can I think I have to take someone out here. I don't know, but okay, let's just call this a bonus pick. I'm not gonna put it in my 5. But I run this almost every week and it doesn't fail me. The Chicago Bears team total over 19.5. I did it last week versus Saints. It hit. It didn't hit the week before that, but I think it's one every week this year except for 2 weeks. So I'm gonna go with it again against the Titans. That defense is suspect. The one thing the Bears can do is throw the ball deep, and the one thing the Titans will let you do is throw the ball deep. So give me the Bears team total over 19.5.
All right, but that's it, I guess.
And to tell you, next week we gotta get them come with the college football picks.
Yeah, we gotta add some more juice for you guys. There's too much money to be made out here.
We've been hitting these college football picks, and they're not hitting with us because we were trying to stick to NFL. But next week we got you guys in college football as well.